afternoon from WKYT, #1 for news. A University of Kentucky doctor claims he was discriminated against by other physicians and even lost his professorship because of his disability.
Dr. Kenneth Ain has filed a lengthy lawsuit against the university and several other doctors. We received a copy of that lawsuit today, and WKYT's Phil Pendleton has been reviewing it and has more from UK's medical campus. It is our top story at 5:30.
Dr. Kenneth Ain has Asperger's, that is a high-functioning form of autism, and he says for a period of several years he was retaliated against, he was harassed, he even lost his endowed professorship. According to the lawsuit, Dr. Ain brought forth a number of complaints that were ignored. Then the university falsely accused him of non-compliance with regulations. He said other doctors named in the lawsuit as defendants harassed him as well. Dr. Ain claims he was banned from university property, was stripped of endowments, and the university did not investigate repeated complaints that he made. He says his request for reasonable accommodations was denied. He says it got so bad that he felt like they were forcing him to quit. It was stated in the lawsuit that once the university learned that he had autism, Dr. Ain was stripped of his endowed professorship. But Dr. Ain was granted a temporary injunction October 2nd that allowed him to start seeing patients again. UK spokesperson Jay Blanton says that they are aware of this litigation and will always follow the court's orders. However, he also goes on to say that the peer review process, that's basically when physicians evaluate other doctors, is a long-standing process that is only done after careful and considerate thought. In Lexington, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Well, according to the temporary injunction issued Monday, the court ruled that Dr. Ain could start seeing patients again because seriously ill people's rights were being harmed.